And I just want to say thank you.
Anyway, let's look at one of these tech billionaire oligarchs speaking at the inauguration.
What the hell?
Speaking at the inauguration.
What the what?
Did he just Sig Heil?
It is thanks to you that the future of civilization.
Let's hear what he has to say. Let's give him a chance. Who knows? He could surprise us, right?
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of
Wait, how did Amy Klobuchar get such a front row seat to this thing? Jesus.
the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Didn't have to worry about shitty crowd sizes this time, eh? Lucky for him.
Thank you very much, everybody. Well, thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the United States.
What is this face that Bill Clinton is making back here, guys? Can you see this? This man is rolling his face off. Somebody gave this man Molly.
President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris.
Did Michelle Obama not show up, or did she show up?
And my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins.
Okay, I'm being told, trigger warning, Hutch, you will last maybe 5 minutes before wanting to Minecraft yourself. Okay. I think I can last 10 minutes. Let's time it right now. Let's start the timer now. Boom.
Right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored.
I just can't get over it, man. This guy like quintupled more the total value of his assets in like 2 days by launching shitcoins right before he was inaugurated. The whole premise of the investigations into Hunter Biden for the last like 7 years was Republicans were saying it was bad for Hunter Biden to capitalize on the prestige his last name had because his dad was vice president and president. You know, they claimed it was corruption. You know, just because his last name was Biden, he got a seat on the board of a Ukrainian energy company and it's had lucrative deals with Chinese businesses, all because his last name was Biden. The idea, very generally, very broadly, was that it is corrupt, immoral, unethical, perhaps illegal, depending on how it goes down, to cash in on the vice presidency or the presidency or just kind of generally any office that somebody might hold. That's bad. That's bad to do that. That was their whole thing for like 7 years. And this man launches a shit coin, which I think is valued above $70 billion after a few days. I don't know how you could possibly defend that if you're someone like Rob Knorr, you know?
The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end. And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free. America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country, sunlight is pouring over the entire world, and America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically.
Keep our names out of your fat mouth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I usually don't do that. I apologize.
From weeks ago, without even a token of defense. They're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to.
Guys, I don't want to be too doomer, but it honestly would not shock me to see a red California in the next like 4 to 6 years. It really wouldn't shock me. I think, there's a reason why they're doing this targeted propaganda attack. They're trying to capitalize on these fires to make it a political issue just immediately within minutes of the fires. And, I got to tell you guys, I am not confident at this point that it won't work. It is for sure possible. We had a Republican governor, for how many years? For was it 1 term or 2 terms? Arnold Schwarzenegger was our governor. He won in I don't even remember, 2005 or something like that.
Do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster.
If you're an informed citizen of the country, basically everything he's saying so far is just laughable. Like we aren't already the envy of the world. Like we aren't already respected. Like as if his presidency is going to cause a spike in approval of the United States in public opinion polls in, Europe and Asia. But this shit hits so hard if you're stupid. If you're stupid, if you're just a big old dummy, this stuff hits so hard, you guys. So hard. And there's no shortage of just dummies right now. It's just sad but true. There's a lot of dummy shitheads in the country right now. It is what it is. And this kind of stuff works. It really does.
Yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly. My recent election is a mandate to complete.
How many days until January 20th? Let's game this out. 2029. 1,461 days. It's doable. It's doable. We can do that. That's nothing, right? That's just a little blip, right?
Completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal.
Here's a good poll. Here we go. We're gonna do a poll. You guys ready for a poll? Will Hutch maintain his sobriety during the second Trump term? It's a fair question. How much do you guys believe in me? I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to participate in this poll. Here we go. Okay, a lot of believers. You know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys believing in me. We got some doubters. We got a few doubters in here. I mean, that's understandable. Statistically speaking, you know, it's very possible. Very possible you see me sipping some IPAs in a couple years. So it's leveling out at about 85% think I will still be sober by the end of the second Trump term, and then about 15% of you think that I will not be sober. We'll see who wins the day on this one.
And all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
He has about 21.5 hours to end the conflict in Ukraine. We'll see if he can pull that off.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history. And I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom.
I feel like FDR and Truman were probably, I'm going to say they were probably tested a little bit more.
And indeed, to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Do you have any idea how much that scared the shit out of me? What is that, Tangia? Who approved that? Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Holy shit, you made my heart skip a beat.
Thank you very much. That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. It is my hope that our recent presidential election
He's come to liberate us, guys. Jesus.
will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
2.5 million to be precise, I believe.
To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
Harris later.
Thank you. Thank you. National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence.
The most recent polls I saw suggested that 60% of the country is optimistic about the next 4 years, 40% are not. We're in the honeymoon phase right now. Every president gets a honeymoon phase. The big question mark is going to be how long his is going to last. The last time the first Trump term, I believe his honeymoon phase lasted like a week. And then it was just immediately he was mired in scandal every day. Flynn had to resign and was charged with lying to the FBI. He fired Comey. There was just it was just constant noise. There was the Muslim ban that was widely criticized, provoked enormous amount of protesters. Yeah, the Women's March. I don't know if they're going to do one this time around. It feels like the left flank in this country is a bit deflated at the moment. Feels like they were all fired up in 2017, and it seems like the vibes this time around are people seem a lot more resigned to the second Trump presidency. So I don't anticipate seeing the level of pushback we saw the first time around. So, I theorize that his honeymoon period is going to last a little bit longer this time around. Now, what are his approval numbers going to be in a year, 2 years? History says probably not that great, but who knows, bro? We are in unprecedented times. Truly unprecedented. There is no roadmap for us. It's just nobody can definitively tell you where the country is going to be in a year from now, where his presidency is going to be a year from now. Quite frankly, it wouldn't shock me if he got more popular in the last year. Politics for me, the thing that gives me a little bit of peace during times like this is I continue to view politics as a long game. So I don't think about necessarily what's right in front of us in this moment. I think about the moment in the context of the last 50 years, 100 years. I think about this moment in the context of what are we going to think 10 years from now? What are we going to think 20 years from now? And so any kind of setback that we experience in politics, if you're of a left-wing persuasion in this country, it's not something that will break me in the way that it did when I was in maybe my 20s. My whole perspective has shifted here. I'm the same way until I think about environmental degradation. I mean, listen, I get it. I get people's concerns. It's just, even in this moment, even on today, I refuse to go down the road of doomerism. I'm not going to do it. It's just, it would take a lot. I'm not saying I'm immune to doomerism. I'm not saying that I'll never get to a point where I can evaluate the state of things and just say we're and there's no getting out of this situation. But I'm not there now. It's going to take a long, long time and a lot worse circumstances for me to get to that point. I still, even today, listening to this man's inauguration address, I still remain bullish and optimistic about the future.
And unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
Where's the clip of him saying he's never asked God for forgiveness? The central tenet of Christianity. It is the most important component
So we've
of
got
Christianity.
people lined up for questions. I just got one more, because you used the word Christian.
Have you ever asked God for forgiveness? That's a tough question. I don't think in terms of, I'm a religious person. Shockingly, because people are so shocked when they find this out, I'm Protestant, I'm Presbyterian. And I go to church and I love God and I love my church. And Norman Vincent Peale, the great Norman Vincent Peale was my pastor. The Power of Positive Thinking. Everybody's heard of Norman. And I love my church. And Norman Vincent Peale, the great Norman Vincent Peale was my pastor. The Power of Positive Thinking. Everybody's heard of Norman Vincent Peale. He was so great. He would give a sermon, you never wanted to leave. Sometimes we have sermons, and every once in a while we think about leaving a little early, right, even though we're Christian. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Frank, would give a sermon. I'm telling you, I still remember his sermons. It was unbelievable. And what he would do is he'd bring real-life situations, modern-day situations, into the sermon. And you could listen to him all day long. When you left the church, you were disappointed that it was over. He was the greatest guy. And then, he passed away, but he was great. He wrote The Power of Positive Thinking, which is a great book.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there.
That is the central, it is the first requirement, the most primary important requisite for being a Christian is to recognize that you're a sinner and that you need forgiveness. That is the most important component of being a Christian. The definition of nitpicking? No, it's not. It is not the definition of nitpicking. If you are to be a Christian is to admit your sins and ask Jesus to forgive you, and through his redemption and example, you can find a way to heaven if you lead a pious, spiritual life on this earthly plane. You can't get there. This is according to Christian doctrine. It is the first step in being a Christian. It's the most important thing that you can do. If you say you've never asked God for forgiveness, that's you saying that you've never recognized your own sins. That's what that means through a Christian lens. I don't know how anybody in the chat could disagree with that. If you know anything about Christianity, how do you not know? How do you not know that this is the most important aspect of Christianity is admitting your sins, admitting you're a sinner and asking for forgiveness? That is step one. Step one. For the people that are disagreeing with me in chat, I just assume you have no experience. It's not just a Catholic thing. It's not. It's arguably even more important with like evangelicals. It is not just a Catholic thing. You have no idea what you're talking about. Anyways. You grew up Christian, then you're just I don't know what to say, man. Then you're a dummy. You must have not been paying attention at any point in your spiritual journey. How do you not know this? If you grew up Christian and you went to church and you're not aware that it's step one is to admit that you're a sinner. It's the very first step.
Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America.
Hey bud, can you talk about your opinions on the Biden pardons today? My first thought is that I think, so first of all, like the president just has broad pardon power. That's just a fact. But that's not like an excuse. Like just because a president has the power to do something, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's okay that they did the thing. As far as like the specific pardons, if you're unaware, guys, he pardoned, I think, people that were on the January 6th subcommittee. He pardoned Fauci and General Milley, I believe. My first instinct is to this just kind of feeds into the right-wing conspiracy nut job shit. Like they're going to be talking about this for 20 years. I'm not kidding. They're going to be talking about this in 20. You remember when they pardoned Fauci? All the shit Fauci got away with. They're going to be talking about this 20 years from now. It feeds into their hysteria, and I think that that's bad. On the other hand, I don't think that anybody on that pardon list deserves to be dragged through the court system by Donald Trump or his acolytes during the next 4 years or whatever. And so there's part of me that roots for it. And then there's another part of me that's like, this is going to make the stupidest people so upset. And so on a purely petty level, I like that. Like, I like the fact that just the dumbest people you know, are going to be really upset. That's a little bit of cold comfort on a day like this. It does make me feel a little like warm and fuzzy on the inside, knowing that Rob Noor is just like on the inside, just like, you know, like just f***ing. So that feels nice. So I don't know. It's a complicated topic. Like, how do I feel overall, holistically about the pardons? I think it says more about the country than it says about Biden that he did the thing. I think it speaks more to just the rot that we're all witnessing. I think that's more important to me right now. It sticks out more than Biden's individual decision to do the thing. The fact that he felt the need to do the thing is a warning sign, I would say.
And the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
There's Bernie in the front row.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
Oh God, is he on ketamine? Is Elon on ketamine during this thing? No, I don't think this is enough evidence. No, he's kind of a weirdo. I feel like he would do that even if he wasn't on drugs. I don't know. That's a little far-fetched to me.
We will reinstate my remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will.
I don't know how he's going to end the practice of catch and release. It's built into our laws. Like, he's just describing our asylum process. Like, he did catch and release during his first term because that's just what the law is. Like, if somebody shows up and applies for asylum and are given a court date and are released into that's just the system, you know? That's just the system. So unless he can change the asylum laws unilaterally, maybe he'll try to invoke some kind of emergency. He's probably already done that. Maybe that's what he does. He declares an emergency and invokes special presidential powers or something. I don't know what he's going to do.
Troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
The numbers right now in terms of like border apprehensions or border encounters is lower than it was during the spike in 2019 on Trump's watch. So, you know, for what it's worth.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Is he going to drone strike the cartels? Is he going to do that shit? Guys, are we about to drone strike Mexico? Is that what we're doing?
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
We'll see what that means.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
Ooh, I'm gonna left trigger that one. We'll see how that one's coming along in like 2 months or 3 months. Where can I order like I did that Trump stickers? Can I order those? There's got to be some on Amazon like right now, right? Trump I did that stickers. There is. You can already get it on Amazon. Dude, I'm ordering them. Let's go. There's so much demand for the Trump I did that stickers that they cost like literally 100 times more than the Biden ones right now. But here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to like stick it obnoxiously on stuff so that, you know, like some poor employee has to scrape it off. I'll do like double-sided tape and put it on the back and do it that way. So it's easy to take down. But we'll be taking some I did that pictures for sure.
The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency.
Oh God, what is Elon doing?
There he is.
Is there a live stream for that? What is that?
Emergency. We will drill, baby, drill. America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. Let me use it. We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold
So you're going to continue what we've been doing for the last several years? Is that what's going on?
under our feet that will help to do it. With my actions today,
Biden emptied our, I don't know if he completely emptied our strategic reserves, but he flooded the market with oil that we were sitting on to bring down prices. And then he turned around and like sold it for a profit as well. Like it was actually super savvy. It literally brought down gas prices, but okay.
we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers.
Another Trump speech, trying to not look at his neck ussy.
In other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. The American
God help us. God help us. if he actually follows through with the tariffs. God help us, guys.
The dream will soon be back and thriving like never before to restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Guys, I was so wrong. I said that RFK would be the first head to roll in the second Trump presidency. I thought for sure RFK would be the one that got kicked out first. And I was wrong. It was Vivek, which in retrospect, it just seems so obvious. Like, so why didn't I pick Vivek? Why? It was so obvious. Because, like, you can't put someone like Vivek in a co-leadership role with Elon Musk. Like, Elon's only going to entertain that for so long before he's just like, who are you? Go away from me. I want nothing to do with you. It was just, in retrospect, it was so obvious that it was going to be Vivek. If you didn't hear about this, Vivek has already stepped away from Department of Government Efficiency. Apparently there was like tension with the staffers, and he just wasn't making a good impression. And yeah, he didn't even make it a day into the second Trump presidency.
And I just want to say thank you.
Anyway, let's look at one of these tech billionaire oligarchs speaking at the inauguration.
What the hell?
Speaking at the inauguration.
What?
Speaking at the inauguration. Oligarchs speaking at the inauguration.
My heart goes out to you.
Did he just Sig Heil?
It is thanks to you that the future of civilization. And I just want to say thank you.
Anyway, let's look at one of these tech billionaire oligarchs speaking at the inauguration.
That's just, okay, so technically it's a Roman salute, but, you know, once the Nazis do that, it's just over, right? Like, well, no, did the Germans do the same way where they would hit their chest first? He meant to say that my heart goes out to them?
Oligarchs speaking at the inauguration.
What the hell, bro? No! There's no way. I just have no words. I have no words. Big overreaction? Oh, God. Get ready for this, guys. It's going to be...
I can't believe you've done this.
It's going to be like this for the next 4 years, where the most patently insane shit is going to happen. And all these Trump sycophants, these people who just will do anything to other than confront the reality that Trump is just a chaos agent and everybody in his orbit are, you know, insane people. They're going to jump through so many hoops. Like, can you imagine what the response from Republicans would be if Joe Biden did that very same gesture in a speech? Can you imagine what it would be insane?
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America. Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Got it. So stupid. Oh, I hate it here so much. Oh my goodness. Four years ago in Biden's inaugural address, he mentioned trans rights for the first time. I think a president ever said those words. He was the very first one. And then it seems very fitting that 4 years later, we are circling back around to this ridiculous shit. Like the amount of time that we spend talking about trans issues, you guys, in this country is just full on evidence that there's a massive hysteria going on. The percentage of the discourse that trans issues takes up is just full on indisputable evidence that we are suffering from mass hysteria in this country. It's insane. The NCAA president, like a month ago, said that there were less than 10 trans athletes in all of collegiate sports. Less than 10. And now think about every video that you've ever seen with a thumbnail talking about trans issues, every podcast episode that you've listened to, conversation for an hour and a half, 2 hours, every time Rogan has brought it up, every time politicians bring it up, every piece of legislation that's been passed at the local, state, and federal level about this stuff. 10 athletes, 10 trans athletes in collegiate sports, 0.6% of the adult population. And it's probably 30-40% of what we talk about whenever politics comes up in discussions. It's insane.
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
This guy's fired up. Mustache
guy. I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately. Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies.
I still can't believe what we just saw a moment ago. Is this real life?
It happened. Thank you. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
To be clear, I think this is an autism thing. I think this is just him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he was invoking Hitler when he did this. I'm just saying he's very socially awkward.
Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
Xi Jinping is watching this speech and just smacking his pud. He's just so aroused, just licking his lips, looking at Taiwan like, girl. Girl, you look good, girl. What are the odds that China invades Taiwan in the next 4 years? I'm going to say 70%. I'm going to say 70%. No, it's not zero. It's not zero.
My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families. Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
This is like when Twitter changed its name. I'm never gonna call it X, you know? Like it's always gonna be Twitter, right?
President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made, and Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Oh my God.
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory,
disease-free,
raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars.
Oh my God. Did this man just invoke manifest destiny in the year of our Lord 2024? What is happening, you guys? Less than a minute after he says we're going to take back Panama, the Panama Canal. Okay. Here's what needs to happen. We need to pace ourselves. We need to conserve our energy. It's just a blitzkrieg of crazy shit this first day. So we got to remember to breathe, center ourselves in the moment. So far, I have to say, the second Trump presidency has not disappointed so far. It's pretty much exactly what I expected. Maybe a little bit even more. Like the Elon Nazi salute, that one threw me for a loop.
Astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
I support that. Oh my God, he's so weird.
Ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation. And right now, our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold.
Musk did it twice. He did do it twice. He did it twice.
Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you.
What the f? Jesus. Pace yourself. Conserve your energy.
Dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. It was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken. I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do.
Did you see this one of Elon? Yeah, bro. We've watched it about 10. Oh, hold on.
Given to her husband by his mother, and the one that was used by.
Wait, is he on drugs? Is he on drugs today? Is he on ketamine today? Is that what's going on? Is this mother high?
The Bible that was given to her husband by his mother, and the one that.
He looks high. Like high, okay? I'm not just, I feel like I have a pretty decent sense of what that looks like. He looks high.
Given to her husband by his mother, and the one that was used by.
I don't know if this has been manipulated in any way or.
Was given to her husband by his mother.
Like that, right? Him kind of like looking up. He looks high, guys. He looks high. I'm reasonably confident he's high. I'm reasonably confident.
Best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami.
No, bro, he looks high.
Right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America. Promise.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We are not getting that 2017 Trump, guys.
We will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America. Promise.
Oh, no.
And we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We are going to win like never before. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable.
Yeah, at least Vivek still got invited to the inauguration. Good for him.
America will be respected.
King, thank you so much for 31 months. My hose Inferno? What is this? With 4 months? Is the next 4 years over with? No. In fact, it's not that long. We just got to hang in there for 1,461 more days. That's nothing. That's nothing, you know? That's like less than the amount of time in between the Batman Part 1 and the Batman Part 2. It's like less that amount of time.
Respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken. And we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly. And nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours. And our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you.